Hello, hello. What's good? What's crack-a-lackin'? Waiting for Duke and Stu. Oh my god, there they are, like I'm right on cue.
Really, on any of those days, so it'll
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, echo.
Echo.
Oh, it's gone now.
Hello.
some sushi.
Right, I'm going to try the recording on here tonight. I thought, see if it works. So I'm doing Skype recording.
Well, I'm committed to getting the recording.
Oh,
right.
Mike's all doing it as well. What is happening? Everyone's recording it. What's going down?
We're all recording it.
Everybody's recording the podcast because Duke did a crap job last week. He only recorded an hour.
Duke sucks.
He does. Yeah, he does.
Duke sucks ass.
He does suck ass. Right. Are we ready? Are we doing this? I don't know.
You have any reason not to start?
Nope.
Think of one.
And play the game.
All right, here we go, baby. Duke sucks. Yeah, come on.
Welcome yo to the veteran gamers. Juju, Jimmy, other fellas will tell you about it. It's the game that you're playing this week. News, reviews, and an indie.
Come on, yeah.
Stu story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite saviors.
We want Chili Willy. We want Chili Willy.
It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers.
You gotta be that fucking diamond in the rough.
Welcome to the flower shop.
Pork chop sandwiches.
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Very proud of you. That's very nice.
Hi, this is Bud Gundelach, and welcome again to my show, Something's Happening.
Hello and welcome to episode 483 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast.
Yay, 483, and we're coming from us to thee. I'm Duke.
And I'm Stu, who likes tea.
Well, I'm Chinny, who forgot to unmute his mic. So,
That doesn't rhyme though. That was
No.
British.
We are not military veterans, people. I hate to break it to you. We are veterans of the gaming lifestyle.
so if you're listening to this and you're thinking, man, these don't sound like military veterans, well, you would be correct because...
That's because we're not.
The closest I've got to a war zone is being brought up in Wolverhampton. So that's as bad as dangerous as I get, which is pretty dangerous, to be fair. But we do...
But it doesn't stop people asking us though.
No, it
It
doesn't.
doesn't stop. Somebody just this week asked, could we make some veteran army group or something? I don't know.
I think the problem is that we're being too quiet about it.
Yeah.
I know. When there's
We
like
are
loads of
not
people-
military veterans!
It's fine.
That'll do
So we are veterans of the gaming lifestyle. So that means basically we've been playing games for a long, long time. If that sounds like you don't have to be old.
Since 1843, in my case.
Somebody on our YouTube channel actually commented about this, and I'm definitely not stalling, so I can click away and find that very comment. But they basically said that I'm 22. Sorry, I'm 20, and I've played racing games for years now. Does that make me a veteran gamer? And I said, you're damn right it does. It ain't about
Of course
age.
he does.
It's about lifestyle, my friend. That was Carbon Fever 98 on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, Stu and Eric,
YouTube.
YouTube.com is a website on the internet, and it hosts videos. And guess what? We have a channel on there that we have videos on there.
We do. Videos.
Now, it has been a current trend, right, that that the person that manages the YouTube account
Stu.
is... no, it wouldn't be
mean,
Stu. It
I
is
have nothing to do with
the
it.
person that
That's
manages
me, I'm sorry.
the...
I'm referring. Chinny's
No.
referring to me.
No, it's not you.
Damn it. Third time's the charm.
Yeah, is it you, Chinny?
It's actually
Really?
me. It's actually me. He's
Oh,
got a little bit of a rep for not uploading things very quickly. All right.
I was going to say being a lazy cunt, but, you could say...
There
oh,
is that.
Wow. That was
Wow,
harsh.
that's very nice.
Yeah, that
What,
does
You just dropped the C-bomb. What the hell is happening?
come into it as well. Pretty
Jeez.
much, I'm trying to squash that now because one video from EGX Resd
Yeah.
2019 has already gone up on YouTube, and it's not even been 24 hours since we departed
And the
from there.
podcast has released on the very same
And
thing.
the podcast has been released, so people who are listening to the audio downloaded version of this. And guess what? I have edited the snooker interview with the lovely Holly Patterson video.
All right. I think I've called into the wrong podcast
I know what
because
he's
y'all are
happening.
like being productive and getting things out quickly. I'm looking for the lazy bastard.
It's true. It's
podcast.
true. We've got other interviews. We've got other interviews lined up
We have.
from other
We have.
developers going onto our YouTube channel, so the whole interview will be there in full, and then there will be a general kind of fucking around me and Stu
Fuckery.
at
Lots of fuckery.
EGX.
Me looking like I'm about 6 months pregnant again.
Yeah,
So
but I decided to upload a very quick fly-through tour, mainly because I wanted to see how steady my, well, not my DJ Osmo pocket, but one that I borrowed was. The footage isn't that steady for anybody that's interested, but it's okay.
It's
So
good.
yes,
it looked fine. I've watched it. It looked fine.
so yeah, check out our YouTube channel. We stream live 9 p.m. GMT. That's British time, but it is British summertime, so just watch out for that. Because I almost I forgot to put my clock forward in my office, right? So I was editing away, going, I've got another hour, and
Yeah,
it was
lunchtime.
about it was 10 to 8 to me. I went downstairs. I said, "Hey, Tara," she was reading the Michelle Obama book, and she's like, "Yeah," and I looked at the time, and I was like, "Oh, it's 10 to not. Oh, for fuck's sake!" And she's like, "I thought it was weird that you came down here at this time." But yes, we stream live on YouTube and Twitch. I don't really look at Twitch very often, but if you are in Twitch, type away in the chat. I can see all the chats and all that shit.
But that's not everything that's happened this week, because not only has all that shit happened in the last day, but I actually did release a podcast early after my Rickroll, which went down very well, I think. Everybody loved 2 hours of Rick Astley singing "Never Gonna Give You Up."
Yeah, we should talk about the April Fools, because we
should.
didn't know we was going to do it until we
we
finished the
didn't.
show. And I said to Stu,
It was your idea.
I said to Stu, there is only one chance you get of April 1st being on a Monday, and this is the one. It's probably not the only chance. Probably maybe in another 6 or 7 years, but you know, you get the idea. But but it did sort of guilt you into releasing it early, didn't it?
It did, right, okay.
It's because Stu's love of a good joke is always going to outweigh his laziness and his dedication to doing things the way he's always done them.
I even had, right, because obviously I haven't actually got an MP3 of Rick Astley singing "Never Gonna Give You Up." So what I actually did was play it via my Bluetooth speaker into the microphone I used to record the podcast, because that was like easier than fannying around. So just did that for like 3.5 minutes. Then I looped it for 2 hours, you know, just so people got enough, you know, because you can never have enough of "Never Gonna Give You Up." That's what I say.
Yes, you can, and no, you can't. So, yeah, yeah. Good luck with that. But that went down very well. And the weird thing is, Stu, this show is going to be released Monday.
It is, right, okay, I've gotten the... No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
It
right,
is.
I've gotten the... No, it isn't. Because
it
listen
is.
to me. Listen.
It is.
Listen.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Stop chatting and listen. Let's listen.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm making an announcement now.
Okay,
This is
announcement.
Official announcement. I'm going to compromise, right? I'm not going to release it Monday, but I am going to release the podcast from now on a Tuesday.
Okay.
Are you serious?
So I'm going to do it. Yes, I'm going to do it from now on. I will release the podcast on Tuesday.
Can I?
And partly today, because we've just released
joke?
the... No, this is true. I'm going to do it. Because we've just released the Rezzed show, we need to give that a couple of days for people.
Can I ask why Tuesday and not Monday?
Right, okay. Because
He needs some time to levelate it, dude. Come on.
Because I'm compromising. I'm compromising. I've got to still have a little bit of power. I've still not got to quite bow down to everybody's request.
It's okay. It's the thing, Chinny. Look, He's compromising between Sunday and Thursday. So Tuesday's in the middle there. Now we let him do this for 6 months, and then next time we'll say, look, we do it Sunday. You have it going out Tuesday. Let's compromise Monday, and then Monday
we'll see about that. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
It just seems like
beliefs.
You still
so don't push it, or I might change my mind.
Well, if you change your mind, I'll just fucking upload it myself.
I might change the password.
Not if I change it first.
If you do that, Stu, I'll leave. How about that? Then what are you gonna fucking do?
Fucking what? The what?
The show gets published, or Chinny walks.
Oh my god! Yeah, joking aside though, Tuesday night I promise I will publish it on a Tuesday.
There you go. You heard it, people. It has come forward. That's a big occasion for the show. So any new listeners, you don't understand. If you're a new listener to the show, which we might get some new listeners to the show because we forced people to download the show at EGX
to subscribe while we're
that's the only way we get new listeners now. If you're a new listener, it has took us fucking 10 years to convince you to pull it forward. So that's a massive occasion.
I think, do you know what the funny thing is though? People are still going to have to wait 7 days till the next one. It makes no difference in reality.
No, but at least, but the thing is, I'll tell you what it makes easier for me is like when I release a video or something like that, I can talk about it and it's not going to be fucking 5 days time.
Yeah, I get you. I hear you.
So it'd be really handy if you did it on the Monday, but I'm not going to push my luck.
No, don't push your luck, man. I've compromised enough this week. But I'll tell you what, though, we've been good this week. We've been good. But yeah, I was right. Just going back to the Rickroll show. There was two reasons I released it on Tuesday. One was because I got an email of someone going, "Oh my god, I can't believe you released it. I'm going to America. I can listen to the show on the way there."
Yeah.
So I did feel mightily guilty. So I was like, "Yeah."
We won't name that person.
No, I won't. And then the other reason, there is a second reason, is I was a bit worried if we got a new listener, they'd wonder what the fuck was going on.
Or if we got a new listener, they thought that it was the best show ever.
Yeah, because it was just Rick Astley.
Yeah. The song is just awesome. I never heard it before, and now I get to hear it for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So there was a few reasons that what happened.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, it's made me do it.
Well,
so April Fools has actually made me do it.
Thank you, April Fools.
Thanks, April Fools.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Right. So now it's time for a story.
My favorite time. It's story time. Story time.
Who's got a story?
We've got loads of stories, haven't we, Ginny? I've seen you this morning.
Yeah.
It's weird.
You have been in my house.
Well, hang on a second. Y'all did a Res EGX thing.
Yeah.
Separate podcast. Do you need to talk about it more?
No, we're not going to talk about that. What I'm going to talk about is how I sneaked into Chinny's room during the night and felt him up in bed.
What? Sexual assault is funny, huh?
Well, not if they enjoy it.
Right.
Just saying.
Okay.
He seemed to quite like it until he woke up.
You're digging a hole here, Stu.
Yeah, really. Just keep. Louis C.K. had a bit about this. Keep going.
It all worked out.
Anyway. Yeah, that was probably a bad joke. Anyway, moving on.
Probably.
Probably.
We had probably out of it. Well, you can say goodbye to those fucking listeners that we just gained.
Yes, no, I have got a story which is kind of funny. I made Chidi eat Chinese last night. I don't think he liked it really.
No, the better story is that I had got all this kit ready to film a video on Friday night.
Yeah, forgot about
that. Because basically, Stu's bringing his Oculus Go right on Friday night.
For those who don't know, EGX Rezzed is a halfway through the year event.
It's an April-ish event, and it's a indie game developer event. So it's like a lot of indie game developers.
Would you say it's half the size of regular EGX?
Well,
probably smaller than
probably
that.
Smaller than that. Yeah. It's pretty small, but it's nice in a way.
Well, you get to talk to actual developers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're very forthcoming.
Yes. So that event happens. So Stu, I'm a halfway house between Stu and London. So he stopped over mine Friday and Saturday night. And Friday I said, bring your Oculus Go, and we're going to record some content, and then I can put that on the YouTube channel of me playing the Oculus Go, because obviously I don't like VR because it's a piece of shit and a fad, and she's going to be like, it's fucking amazing, and all that stuff. So it's going to be great content. So I got all this kit, and it's I did research to record the Oculus Go. I had 2 tripods ready to record the audio and the video. I worked out the sort of logistics of it, and Stu forgot to bring the fucking Oculus.
Well, so, the worst thing about it was I had it all packaged up in its case. I had all the accessories, spare batteries, the charging cables, everything that you needed. Everything was there, and I left it in the middle of the living room floor. And I literally realised about 20 miles from Chinny's house, and I'm like,
Turn the fuck around. Turn the fuck around.
60 miles back to get it. So I didn't do an extra 120 miles just to bring it down. So yeah, I was to be fair though, I was gutted that happened.
Well, I don't know how we're gonna do it again. I don't know when, because we can't do it at the arcade club.
We'll do it at the restaurant when we go for the meals. Fine.
No, I can't film it there, you pleb.
We'll just do it there. It's fine,
no, because we need to
you
film
can
it.
look like a dick.
We need to film it.
Yeah, that is true.
No, we can't do it there. Yes, so we have people watching live. There are 9 people watching live. That's more.
9! Woo!
That's more than 8. Oh, we have 10. It's going up as I talk, but no one's chatting in the chat. It's very
quiet.
Very quiet tonight. Usually we got some loud fuckers in here, but nobody's saying
I thought
anything.
I was going to at least get some grief for the Rickroll. You know what I mean?
No one said anything to you. No one said.
I have had grief for the Rickroll, to be fair, but not tonight.
Rightly so. What did you think of the Rickroll there, Duke?
To be honest, I didn't realize it until you sent it.
Excellent.
You just mentioned.
That's the best way for an April Fool's. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that that all went that way, Duke.
That's the way you want it to go.
How have you been, Duke?
I've been good. It's been a crazy week. I mean, the big sadness is that Diane, the Duchess,
I heard.
she lost a campaign for Alter.
No.
Yeah.
But she ran a really good campaign, and she did a lot of good work to unite people and raise the discussion of what's going on. So now she gets her life back. She's currently at a meeting. We went and had brunch today. She's, packed the stuff up and put it in the basement. It's frustrating. It's demoralizing. It was 209 votes, so it was really close.
So did she come second, I'm guessing?
Well, there were only 2 people competing. So, yeah, she came second.
Yeah, she came
All
second.
right, way to go, Duchess!
That's pretty good.
Came second.
That's the way to buck up our spirits, dude.
Yeah. She's obviously not corrupt enough. That's a problem.
Yeah, well, maybe I got
or
to change the endorsement.
Or be orange enough.
Well,
and have a weird hairdo.
The point is that she did a great job running the campaign, and so whatever. We're moving on past that now. And yeah, I finished writing a story this week, which I'm very proud of, and I'm going to submit it to the Isaac Asimov Science Fiction magazine. So fingers crossed.
Sci-fi, I like sci-fi.
And the Duchess is currently proofreading my book about politics, so I'm hoping to get that done soon. And yeah, we have a new mayor in our town, which is great because the old mayor he's not horrible, but we're ready for a change.
But is the new mayor going to be any good?
Yeah, she's awesome. I know her. Duchess
so
is.
She's going to be okay.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what she does. So.
Darren Sims in the chat. He says hello.
Hello.
There we go.
Hello, Darren.
All right, that's 20 minutes of fucking chit chat. Shall we get on with the show?
Yeah, let's do some games.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
What you been playing?
What you been playing? What you been playing?
I am on it tonight. I have got the fucking wheel ready.
Are you really?
It's all going.
What the what?
And I've clicked it. I've clicked the wheel.
It's even spinning and everything.
Look at that. And it's Duke. Duke is up.
Duke!
Oh, yeah. I've been playing Rocket League. I know that's a shock. I don't have anything to say about it. But I did like the part in your EGX Res discussion where you talked about the new version of
Axiom Soccer.
Yes.
Yeah, that. It's got combat in it, which kind of sounds like the Rumble mode on Rocket League, but obviously I'll wait to see it and play it.
And it's free, so you don't have to pay.
Yeah, you said the magic word.
It's free.
Yeah.
F-R-E-E. Free.
You should definitely check it out there,
Free, no charge.
Dukas.
Yeah, I played a little bit of Minecraft. I started up again on the 24 Karat Craft server. What? Shout out to Vac Vegas. Yeah, there's not much to say about that other than I spent today getting my portal correct and I made a workshop and yada, yada, yada. And I also fell into the lava, which is dumb of me. I need to put a fence around that or something. And the other game I've been playing is called Islanders.
Okay, what is Islanders?
So Islanders is a game from the developers of Superflight. I don't know if you remember a while back, I played a game where you are a dude in a wingsuit and you're just flying around and trying to get as close as you can to the rocks without crashing into them.
I do vaguely remember that, yeah.
Yes.
Same
Tell us more.
And it looks very similar to that other game because it's procedurally generated and it's kind of cartoony graphics. This is a city builder game.
Okay.
But it's really more of a puzzle game because it's procedurally generated, and the idea of it is it's not just, first of all, you never see the people. What you're doing is you have a certain amount of land and you have to add buildings to that land in such a way as to maximize your points. So when you put a house down, you'll get a certain number of points for every house that it's near, and you'll lose a certain number of points for every sawmill that it's near, because that is noisy, right?
Right.
So it starts off very simply. You put stuff down in any kind of order. You fill up the circle on the left corner of the screen, and you finish that part of it. Yay!
I'm having trouble here. Go on.
Go on. Sorry. Go on.
I'm just having trouble. I'm having.
Go on. Sorry.
Spin the wheel to figure out who's going to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's talking?
I'm having trouble because understanding the game. It's an isometric, low poly game, and what I can see on the gameplay here is like an island, and somebody's putting down buildings. How are the points judged? Because I don't understand.
So if you put a house down, for instance, in the middle of the field, you'll get like 1 point for putting a house down.
Yeah.
But if you put a house down next to another house, you'll get 4 points for having that other house nearby. Okay. So then you get 5 points, 1 for your house plus 4 for the house that you put it next to. Then when you put another house down, you'll get 9 points because it's 4 for each of those houses plus the 1 for your house. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Kind of does.
It's weird. It's an odd concept.
What happens if you put one in the middle of the ocean?
You can't.
It's a bit rubbish. Why not? I want to do that. I've got to say, I'm looking at this, and it looks like Peter Molyneux's all over this thing.
Yeah, well, it's kind of cute in the same way that his games can be cute at times. But, what it ends up being is...
Shit?
It's not shit. It's good. It
looks polished.
Really
polished, right. But I don't know. I don't understand the concept, because what's the difficulty of putting a building down next to another building?
What it becomes is it's a puzzle game, really. That's what it is ultimately. Because what you need to do eventually is figure out the best place to put each item, and then you get more items to place, and you need to figure out the best place to put those. And eventually you realize, I shouldn't have put all these houses together, because now there's like a wasteland where no houses ought to be, and there's a place where all the houses are clustered together. Or you have, your sawmill, but there's no place near them for the, woodcutters to live, or whatever it is. So it's interesting. It's very innovative. I mean, I've never played a game like this. It's going to take me some more time playing it to really figure out how I feel about it.
Are you enjoying it, Duke?
I am. It's certainly well done, and it's very user responsive, and it was only like $6. So, they do a good job of making cheap games that are interesting and not really, I had never played a game like Superflight, certainly not in a while. So I think they do a good job. It's just that they have some odd ideas, and it's not going to be for everybody.
Darren Sim in the chat says, is it on the PC only?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, I would imagine. I'm looking at the pictures on Steam now, and some of the stuff that has been built looks way cooler than the stuff I'm looking at on the stream. So I can see where it can go.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it looks pretty cool once it's all fully built up and there's stuff going on everywhere.
Right.
Yeah. So I can see that, I guess.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm gonna have to play it some more. Find out what I think.
So, spin the wheel, I guess.
All right. Let's just find where the fucking wheel is. The wheel is here. It always pops up with a fucking ad thing.
Can I just say, by the way, Chinny, there is something I did pick up on that I hadn't realised whilst we were at Rest.
Yeah.
You even swear when you're interviewing people. I was like, wow, he's swore quite a lot there.
Yeah, I do. Because it's funny.
It's because you just do.
Because I do.
You just do.
I almost backed down because I wasn't gonna say to the snooker developer, where the fuck have you been for the last 7 years?
But then you did.
But then I did.
And to be fair, she just took it in her stride.
She
didn't
took
seem
it.
that bothered.
She was trained for that question.
She was. You could tell she was PR.
She
Very
knew.
good.
She got back on topic. She wasn't letting me getting off the topic there, but no.
She might even be listening now. Weirdly,
Who
that
knows?
could be
I can hear it. Hold on. I can hear us. I can hear her turning it off as well. There you go.
It's probably is after that comment.
Right. I haven't really thought about what games I've been playing at the moment because I can talk about something, I suppose, that isn't EGX Resd related.
I was gonna say you already spent an hour talking about what.
Yeah,
we did.
We did. I kind of have to.
It's gonna be a short show today.
I have to remember that like people have
me.
listened to that. So I've been trying. There's the clue there. To play Assassin's Creed Origins a bit more, and this game has made me rethink my life.
Really?
Now you might be saying, "Oh, that's a bit weird for an Assassin's Creed."
Yeah,
game.
in what
Seems
way?
a bit
In
over
what
the top,
way?
but you
Seems
know
a
what?
bit-
Have you stopped stabbing people in the throat when you see them in the street now?
One of my personality traits is that when I start a game, I have to finish it.
Oh yes, this is true.
So now you're
And
considering that.
and I love Assassin's Creed games. I have played almost every one, and I am so bored with Assassin's Creed Origins that I'm thinking about stopping playing it.
Stop. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
That's,
I don't like you to play games you're not enjoying, but I also don't like the idea of you giving
Changing
up
his
things
way.
you like to do.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a.
Well, you're wasting time. You're just wasting time.
I'm
doing something you don't
conflicted.
enjoy.
It's an internal battle I have, and I am getting to the point now where, I don't think I'm enjoying it, and it's frustrating because it's Assassin's Creed. I almost feel like if it was a game that I hadn't played so many of them. I don't think there is a game that I've played so many of, like the series. Like Tomb Raider maybe, GTA is likely, but there aren't many franchises that I've played that I've gone all the way through. So it's hard to sort of give up on it. If it was just sort of a one-off game of an IP or something like that, maybe I'd be like more inclined to just go, fuck it, forget it. And Darren in the chat said something that people are saying a lot is Odyssey is better. Odyssey is
but do you want to jump straight into another Assassin's Creed game?
But then I just feel like if I'm going to play Odyssey, then I need to finish Origins. It's a sickness.
Well,
I
understand
have.
the story otherwise.
Well, it goes back, I think, Odyssey, so no one gives a fuck. I think it goes.
You see, but Chinny is like this with everything.
Yeah.
Right. Because last night, obviously, he had a Chinese. He was all right with it.
Yeah.
But he didn't particularly like it. But he did try and finish it.
I did.
Which I was impressed with. He
Yeah.
did.
I do.
It's the same with everything he does.
It's correct. I do it with food. Yeah, it is true. Like I feel like I should finish the food, out of
even though he wasn't really enjoying
as
it.
David Brent said, there are people starving in Africa, which I hate. So, I thought I would eat the food. But I don't know. I've just got this kind of mentality to finish things.
Yeah, whatever it may be.
To complete them. I need to complete them.
It's in his DNA.
It's not. I don't think it's because of
I got.
I don't think it's because I need to. I don't think it's a boasting thing. I think it's just a. It's just like
It's just a thing you do.
It's a thing I do, and it's also like, well, you don't know anything about Origins because you didn't finish it. I'm like, but so it's kind of like.
Hardcore.
It's experiencing the whole game, making sure that I.
Well, it's a little bit like me not including games in my games of the year if I haven't finished them.
Yeah.
Because I've got to finish it. Because I can't. As far as I've sort of in my head, I'm like, well, if I've not finished it, I can't really judge the whole game. And that's my logic on that. If it's something that I potentially think is going to be my game of the year, I've got to have played the whole thing. I can't just base it on what I've played up to now.
I guess so. So
yeah.
But there you go. So I have played a little bit of it this week, Assassin's Creed Origins, and it just doesn't really sort of get me excited. And I've been questioning of like, what kind of game do I feel like playing right now? And I've got this kind of urge to play like a Stardew Valley, and not so much this kind of open world. And I just don't think Assassin's Creed Origins is particularly exciting. I know there's a lot of polish and hard work gone into it, but I don't think it stands out really that much to me. Other than it's just absolutely rammed of content, but I don't think it's very exciting content. It's a case of like this is a 60-hour game maybe, or 30-hour game. But, maybe I'm just kind of in the mood for a 2-hour quality experience, for that 2-hour sort of, inside or limbo kind of experience. That's what I need. So it's troubling. It's annoying. It's like it's like Stu waking up one day and realizing that he doesn't like weird and shit games. It's just
that is true.
It's very weird.
That would be very, very true. You see, what my suggestion is.
Your suggestion is play Yakuza. That's your.
Yeah, go for the halfway house, where it's kind of open world, but it's small and sort of compact.
No.
But you've still got that sort of really cool, epic story as well to go with it.
No.
And there's no. And although there's no pointless tasks to do, it's just crazy side missions that make you smile.
No.
Go do it.
I'm not gonna
do it.
So I'm struggling. So next week, find out if I manage to play some more Assassin's Creed. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Give it up, man. Give it up. If you're not enjoying it, give it up.
What do you say, Duke?
Listen to your heart.
Okay.
Listen to your heart, Chinny. What does your heart tell you?
Well, that's me anyway.
Right. Okay. So is that me then? I guess it's on me now, isn't it?
Well, that's usually the way it goes. Yeah.
That's really because I'm the last person, so I guess it's got to be me.
Correct.
I'm going to talk about Golf Story because I haven't really played this until we went down to EGX because it was like on the train. I was like,
Oh, is that the only bit of Golf Story you've ever played?
Yeah. I watched Millie play a bit of the story.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
The story is like way better.
Oh, no, I'm sure it is. But I can only talk about the multiplayer.
Yeah, we played each other on the train on Golf Story.
We did. It's very good.
It is.
I liked it a lot. It's kind of what golf would be like if it was totally crazy.
If I wasn't blowing hot air when I was talking about this game.
No, I mean, some of the courses were just... Well, we only played one course, I guess, but it was totally ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was on the whole, it was just all trees and the tiniest bit of fairway you ever saw in your life.
Yeah, it was the dinosaur course, the one that we played. It's good.
It's just crazy. And then she's like, hey, watch this. It doesn't matter if you hit it in the water because a turtle pops up and bounces your ball back on the fairway.
In certain parts of the water.
In certain parts. It has to be in a circle. But even so, it's ridiculous.
On the screen now, you can see moles. Can you see the moles in the red circles? And let me get... I bet you can guess what happens if you put it in the fucking red circle.
Does it swallow it and then pop it up somewhere else? Or
he grabs the fucking ball, the mole. He's a little bitch. And
Is it like Caddyshack and he does a little dance?
No, doesn't do that. But he hides it in like kind of like the rough. So you're in the rough.
So whereas you can hit the turtles because they're a good thing, the moles.
Turtles are positive.
Yeah, red is negative, I guess. So avoid the moles.
I guess so.
Needless to say, I won.
You did win.
I did win. Yeah, Chinny's played tons of this game, and I still beat him by about 3 shots because he was rubbish. No, it was all right. It's good fun. It was really, really good fun.
I'm a bit gutted that we didn't play Worms on the way back. I was planning to do that.
Well, we'll come to the reason why later because there's an email kind of linked to what happened.
Okay.
And so we'll come back to that later.
Yep.
But yes, Golf Story. I mean, just from the multiplayer thing, I was really impressed. You know, it's a standard 3-click system. You know, so to click to start it, go and click for your power, click to finally hit it, and you've obviously got to get it in the little shady bit.
Yeah.
But there was tons of nice fine controls, you know, to this precision shot thing that works really, really well. A little bit fiddly to get used to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But with the little controllers detached, it worked perfectly, didn't it? You know, there was no issue at all. It worked really, really well.
Perfect.
So yeah, it's really, really good. I'm quite liking Golf Story.
Could say it's the greatest game ever made.
I know. So I'm kind of looking forward to what happens. Oh, I can see the mole's about to get it. I see what he did there.
Put it in the bunker. Little bastard.
Little bitch doing that. What is that about? Golf Story I really enjoyed, and we had a little bit of fun, and it just passed the time, didn't it?
It did.
And that's it for me on Golf Story. There's not a lot else I can say about it, but apart from it's very polished.
Duke and I don't have anything else to talk about, so I think it's going to
be... Do you not? Wow, you...
No.
Oh, Duke, I'm wrong. Sorry.
Duke, go. Duke, go.
No, I said nope.
Oh, no.
You really haven't.
I got it right.
You did.
Sorry. I meant no as in no, I do not have anything else to say.
Oh,
I guess we should carry on then. God almighty, this is going to be what Stu's been playing.
Stu's been playing. It usually fucking is anyway.
Usually that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
We also played another game. Chini can talk about this because he played it with me, but he really didn't like it very much.
Can you tell?
Yeah.
Can you tell that I didn't like it?
I don't know why. I could tell you didn't like it. Yes, big time.
Because like what you can do. Well, to talk about the game. What's the game, Stu?
Diablo 3. We played that in multiplayer as well.
And
for a little, but not very long, to be fair.
No, it's boring because it's I don't know. I don't like the aesthetics of it. Also, the screen was too small. Also, the controller's too small for this kind of game. I wasn't feeling it. I don't think it works on the Switch. I know you're going to disagree, but the cool
two-player on the Switch.
Yeah,
it works fine in single player.
The cool thing that I liked about it is if I put the controller down, you could pretty much play it, and it would play my character with you on its own.
Just did it.
I enjoyed that.
What was also very odd is because obviously I'm in the middle of a game and up to like level 18 or 19 character now. We started a new game on Millie's account, so we sort of we switch to Millie. See what I did?
Stop it.
And then sort of brought another player in, but the player it brought in was my character from my game, which is level 18. So we had a level 1 character and a level 18, and then the other weird thing is I was like, oh, I'll just be a necromancer again because that was kind of fun. But then we ended up with 2 necromancers, which was just a bit weird because they both look the same, except mine had like better armor and better weapons and it was just weird. Because like level 18 and level 1 playing the beginning of the game, it was just very odd.
Character, the necromancer, looked like he had a move which like brings up these little needles from the ground, and he'd wave his arms around, right? And he looked like if the White Walkers from Game of Thrones had a DJ, he would look like the White Walkers DJ.
He looked like an MC trying to get the crowd.
Winter is coming.
Yeah.
Winter is coming.
It's getting cold in here. I don't know why he speaks like that.
So let's put on all our clothes.
Yeah.
Woo.
Ooh, ice cold. You know it at the back. Come on, Dragon, get in on it.
Fast forward, selector.
We're gonna get Jon Snow.
The other trouble.
He knows nothing.
God's sake. The other trouble for Chin is a lot of dialogue.
Yes, there's a lot of reading.
Didn't go down well.
It's your favorite thing in a video game, right, Chinny?
Fucking
Is it?
hell. I mean, I know people have listened to the EGX Rezzed episode, but can we just like the game that guy dragged me on?
That was very...
let me paint you what happened, right? It was
Picture it, Sicily, 1920.
it was a dark sort of corner of the Tobacco Docks venue, and this man, right? Everybody at this venue, right? Duke, you've seen the videos, right? So they've got like posters and banners and pop-up banners and monitors and stuff and branding, everything.
Yep. Oh yeah.
This section, right, had a table.
Come back here, little boy. I'll show you my video game.
Had a table, right, and 2 laptops on a table that was too small for 2 laptops, so they were balancing.
And were there chairs at this table?
No, it was a standing table, and then the two Xbox controllers plugged into each laptop on top of the laptop keyboard. So I was stressing out, going, "What if it unnecessarily types something?" That's a fucking nightmare. And then this guy, we kind of locked eyes, and then I have to say, at EGX Rezzed, which is very different to the main EGX, your press pass actually means something. Because at the main EGX Rezzed, first of all, in reality, your press pass means nothing because fucking like Bob's...
Well, they gave you one, so obviously.
Yeah, obviously, right? You know, like a 13-year-old child with a YouTube account can get a press pass.
Hey, what are you saying about Antonio?
No, but like what I'm saying is like it's not that difficult to get a press pass, but at the large EGX, no one gives a shit. Everybody just goes, fucking get to the back of queue, you scum. But at the EGX Rest, people look at you, they look at your press pass, and they treat you differently, right? And they go,
totally
come to my game.
Come on, look at this. You want to play this?
Look at this. You please. And this guy looked...
Suck your dick, play my game.
Yeah. I mean, he did, but like, it still wasn't a great game. So this guy from Istanbul, not Constantinople, he looked at me and said...
But it was Constantinople.
No, it wasn't. No.
Oh, I was misinformed by a song.
Yeah, the song's lying to you. And he said, I can't do... it's Turkey, isn't it? A Turkish accent.
You cannot do a Turkish accent.
Yeah, just no.
Here, I'll do a Turkish accent. Erdogan's party got trounced in the most recent election. Suck it, Erdogan. There's my Turkish accent.
So this way to go off topic there, but the guy said,
"Hey." We're talking about, and then I talked about Turkey.
He said, "Hey, you want to play a game?" And I said, "Sure. What is it?" It kind of looked like Stardew Valley, and he said, "It is life simulation game." And I was like,
Jesus Christ,
it's fucking is it like the Matrix? And he went, no. And none of that happened, but like then I thought, all right, okay, I'll play the game. And you play this little man and you walk around, and if you press the right trigger, he walked at amazing speed, and he went, hey, congratulations, you found the debug button. And I was like, okay, and he put that in there because he said, you walk too slow, so I put the button in because I could not be bothered to walk.
So you discovered the Easter egg of run.
Yeah. So you walk around the city, and he says, every person in game will have backstory. All right? And I went, okay, it's everyone. 90 people so far have backstories, and you know in real life how it's very difficult to make friends. You know, will you be my friend, by the way? It is very difficult. You have to, in Stardew Valley, you go up to people and you say, hey, and they're your friend. It's not that easy in real life because Stardew Valley lied to you. It's full of shit.
I didn't hear any of this, I have to say.
There's a lot of monologue for a random guy.
I'm hitting the headlines, but this is kind of true what he said, right? I'm spicing it up.
He was dissing on Stardew Valley.
I'm spicing it up for common.
Stardew Valley is piece of shit game. My game is wonderful.
I made this game years ago before Stardew Valley, and I mean the floor was just covered in phlegm. Right? It was just he must have been saying Stardew Valley a lot. And I played it, and there was a lot of text. and Stu come over at this point, and
I did.
And he
kind of
went,
saved you, but then laughed a bit as well.
No, Stu, you could have sent me a lot quicker.
I could have saved you, but I
you
didn't.
could have said anything.
I didn't though, because it was interesting. And I mentioned this on the podcast. What was on the one for Rez? What was so funny was you could see Chinny was hating the game and hating having to stand there to play it.
Yeah.
But every time text came on the screen, he obviously wasn't reading it, but was kind of pretending he was.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Wasn't happening. Wasn't happening.
Yeah. Classic.
So it's safe to say that I'll be buying that game straight away. And he also, you know what he also said? It was like, I said, well, when's it coming out? And he says, well, not till maybe 2021, maybe 2022. What? All right, and he was like, yes, we don't want to release game. We want to make
shit now, but will be magnificent.
We want to make game for years.
We need to polish on the game.
So I hope this is going to be another World of Tanks scenario where I'm completely wrong and it's the biggest game in the world. Highly unlikely. But anyway, I sidetracked you from Diablo 3. Is anything else?
Well, I was just going to finish out. By saying I obviously knew that Chinny wasn't enjoying that game because he had the same face as when he was playing Diablo 3.
Yeah. Which is
so
this.
I knew the face. I knew why.
I'm doing the face for the video.
Doing the face. So yeah, I knew why. At one point playing Diablo 3, by the way, he was just leaning on the table, not doing anything with the controller.
No, it was so boring.
It was very bored. We didn't play. To be fair, we only played it for 10 minutes max. It wasn't a long time.
Yeah.
It took longer probably to set the game up than we played it for.
Yeah, it was boring.
Yeah.
Never do that again.
No, never again. Diablo 3 is a definite no.
No.
It's a no. Okay, I'll move on to my next game because I have got other games.
Right along.
Cool.
Right.
So another Switch. Yeah, well, they're all Switch games, weirdly.
Right.
But I know there's a theme. There's a theme here. But yes, I bought a game on the Switch, which was very, very, very cheap.
Did you? Well, that doesn't surprise me.
I know, it literally cost £1.34p.
You tight bastard.
But was reduced from $13.99, so it was a good saving. And this.
Well, hold on before you say what you were sitting where in the room that I'm in now. You were sitting next to me about 24 hours ago, Stu.
Yes, playing it.
And you were playing it, and I said to you, no, I looked on the shop, and I looked at when I look on the Nintendo store, I go to charts. Right, that's where I go. Charts coming soon, and I have a look and have a browse, and then I don't buy anything. Stu says, "Nah, I'll never go on that." What? And I said, "What do you go on? Deals?" And he was, "Yep, that's the only thing I go on."
Straight on deals, man.
Fucking tight ass.
I know, I'm gonna get something cheap. Anyway, here's the thing. It's called Castle of Heart.
Castle of Heart.
Heart. And it's kind of trying to be a side-scrolling Dark Souls, I guess is the best way to describe it.
The amount of times I heard it's the Dark Souls of this EGX Rest.
You know, Minecraft is the Dark Souls of crafting games.
I can only tell you because it's kind of medieval looking.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit dark. There's some weird sorcerer that's turned everybody to stone.
There are souls.
And there are souls, yeah. And you're made of stone, but you're still alive for some very odd reason. Aesthetically, it looks really, really nice.
It's 2D, but it's fully 3D rendered. It's pretty.
2.5.
Yeah, they've done a good job. But what's kind of interesting, when this it's a Switch exclusive, by the way. You can't get this on anything else.
Right.
But when it first came out, it was quite mauled by the critics, shall we say.
And why is that, Stu?
And the reason that is because there was...
the veteran gamers where we tell you what critics say, not what we think.
Let me come back to the...
Hey, he's got a point.
I have got a point to this.
How dare you, Eric?
Sorry.
Yeah, so it was given a bit of a mauling. It had about 50, I think, on
Don't
Metacritic.
interrupt him again, Eric.
Yeah, don't interrupt.
Stop it.
Yeah, it had about 50 on Metacritic.
It's annoying when you keep interrupting him.
And it was due...
I see what you did there.
It was due to input lag issues, and some of the platforming was a bit ropey. And people's like, it's a really hard game anyway, meant to be, and then it's even harder because it just doesn't work very well. You know, so it was given loads of grief. Now, to give due to the developers, they released a patch probably about a couple of months after it released that fixed a lot of the problems. And then a little bit later on in 2018, they released a huge patch that fixed pretty much everything that was wrong with it.
Yeah.
But this is a classic case of, by the time they'd fixed it,
no one gives a shit.
People, no one gives a shit. And they've been to look at the reviews. The reviews were still terrible because obviously it didn't get re-reviewed. So I think it's done quite badly as well, which is a shame.
It's a shame.
But then release it working properly the first time you release it. That's the moral.
I mean,
look,
there's a reason why it happened,
yeah.
right? I mean, Castle of Heart was dog shit when it came out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it looks like there's effort. I can see there is work in this game that has been done. But it was a piece of shit, so...
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. All the reviewers were kind of saying, look, it's... It shows promise, and it's a shame that it doesn't work properly because it actually feels like it could have been a good game had it been implemented well. And now they've done all that stuff. For £1.34, it's probably a bit of a bargain, really.
It is a Billy bargain.
It's a Billy bargain, and it works, and it's kind of fun. It is hard as nails.
Yeah.
But what they also implemented, an easy mode, or a stew mode, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
Which is still difficult, so it isn't by any means easy.
Well, it's Dark Souls. Of course it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, it's still difficult on easy mode for me, but, if you're put off by the difficulty, look, it's a pound.
Yeah.
It's for £1 you can't go wrong, is what I'm saying.
I've got £1 in my hand now.
It's £1.
How do I put this in? How do I put this in the Switch? Do I put it in the cartridge?
That I can't tell you.
Right.
That I can't tell you. But yeah, it's £1. So if it's still £1, then buy it. It's £1.
Okay, Castle of Heart. It's £1. Buy it because it's just £1. That's
if it's
what you're going out on.
$13.99, it's probably still a bit much, to be honest.
Okay. There is something I do want to talk about. We did talk about it on the EGX Red Show, but we played Dreams.
We did.
Yeah,
but I played a very interesting aspect of it. I played the creation.
Yeah, makeshift.
Makeshift. And the tutorial was so slow, and I didn't really get into the details of it. But, it kind of starts off with the concept of, in the beginning there was nothing, and then there was something, and then that something was everything, right? So it's very much kind of like, what is the meaning of life? You are, it's that message. And they even have a section in the creator tutorial about doubt. Would you believe?
Wow.
So I was like, here comes.
Do you need that message?
I suppose so. I suppose they have to encourage people to make stuff. So that there's a wall of doubt, and you physically have to grab the bricks and break it away. I think you'd be really surprised at this tutorial.
Metaphor.
Yeah.
But then you struggle just to put some steps down.
So what happens is you get put into this kind of black void, right? And you're given clues of what to do next. And then you get like a square and a pyramid, and then you get a picture of a square and a pyramid, and the pyramid is on top of the square. So it kind of looks like, I think it's a rocket actually, what it looks like. And then your brain goes, well, I'll do that then, and then it tells you how to adjust it. And on the video now, what you're seeing is what I found the most difficult part of Dreams Creator was moving around, right? Moving around the environment, moving around the 3D object, moving the 3D object itself. You can do it all with the controller. That's what I was using. You can use Move controllers as well, but I'm not going to buy Move controllers, so I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in what you can do with the normal controller. And I knew I'm completely happy and willing to accept that there is a learning curve, right? There's going to be a learning curve. There was a learning curve with Little Big Planet, and I knew there was going to be a learning curve with this. What I didn't really think about was how fucking steep that learning curve was going to be, and how difficult it was going to be to move an object. And it took me a good 2-3 minutes just to put stairs in the right place, to pick up stairs and move them.
You still didn't quite get
and
it.
I didn't quite sort of get it where I wanted it to go.
Yeah, even though you tried. I mean, I was watching you at this point trying to do it, and you just literally couldn't do it.
No.
You was just like,
I mean, you could say it's just practice. I mean, you look at I've watched quite a few streams of the Creation Toolkit, and obviously the developers are very good at it. They've made the game, they know how to do it. But I'm sure it's practice. I'm pretty sure it's practice. Like any game.
I mean, they were doing a demo of making stuff to
yeah,
show.
And it was pretty
it's like.
impressive, you know, what they were doing.
It was, but they made a starfish, but it was brown. It was just the weirdest choice. It was a brown, looked like a piece of shit starfish.
Yeah, which is funny.
It's funny, but it's still weird. And it was cool what they did.
But he made it on the spot, Stu, so you shouldn't hang on the poo fish.
I get you. But he was fast making it. I mean, he used 2-move controllers, and he obviously was very adept at moving it around and doing the stuff because he's one of the developers.
Yeah.
And one of the coolest aspects, and I don't know whether you noticed this because you were busy doing your
he was making the music.
The music that they made was very impressive.
Making music, bam, 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 bam.
You know how they were looping it, adding in the bass, adding in the drum beat.
I mean, this game, I could lose my life to this game.
You could. Now let me ask you this though: after being stung a bit by trying to get some stirs in place, are you still as excited for it?
I am. Yeah, I am. I suppose what I need to do is really dedicate some time to it and put my see. You know when I was talking about Assassin's Creed Origins, and I'm not really in the mood for that. I'm in the mood for this. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I think I want to create something, and that's why maybe Stardew was kind of
Minecraft. Way to go.
Yeah, that's why I liked Minecraft very recently, because I got this kind of, I just want to make stuff. I want to Stardew. I want to just sort of manage my own little thing. I don't want to fucking stab somebody in the face right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just interesting.
I mean, it is impressive. I mean, I didn't really talk about what apart from the pool game.
You played the pool game.
I played the pool game, but I did play a couple of other things that were made by community people, so not by the Medium Molecule staff. One was like a Dead Space, like stranded on a space station type thing.
Okay. Which
was fine. You know, there wasn't a lot to it. It literally lasted probably a minute at most, minute and a half. It was a very over very quickly.
Sure.
But the effort, like, see how long it took you to put those stirs in place. I'm guessing this took days to make this very small section of a game, and I think that's the concern I have. I think,
but it's not your concern though, is it?
Well, it is and it isn't.
How?
Right, because when I buy this game, I don't really want to make shit.
No,
I just
that's
want
what I'm
to
saying.
play. Well, let me come back to the reasoning. So I just want to play shit other people have made.
Yeah.
But I have a fear that it's going to be the same as Little Big Planet, where nothing people make is going to be like a fully fledged game. It's just literally going to be these small vignettes of stuff that people.
Oh yeah, it's not going to be a fully fledged game like Pigeon Sex Simulator.
No, just bear with me. What I'm saying is the way they're selling this game is that you can make games within the game.
Right.
But when someone says to me they're going to make a game, I'm expecting a game, not something that's going to last 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I'm expecting a game, and I think what we're going to end up with, because of the difficulty curve and what Ginny's saying about the time it takes to do stuff, we're not really going to get games.
Well, you're going to get some, but you're going to get a lot of shovelware, and you're going to get a few things that are good.
See, I don't think that the limitation is the time it takes to make something. I think the limitation is each game you make, each sort of level you make does have a memory limit to it.
Yeah, and that's going to be... You see, they're selling it as one thing, but in reality, it's something else.
I don't know. You seem like
say they're going to be able to make cool stuff, and people probably are. And you're right; it probably is limited more by the memory available.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some live streams, like I say, and the live stream, the levels you make are limited. So that that pool game that you played, by the way.
Yeah.
What you didn't notice is all the shortcuts that he made, right? So the fireplace, the wood on the fireplace, is the same.
Very cool.
Is the same wood on the ceiling, and the doorknob is also the legs of the table. So if you start reusing
haven't really spotted any.
If
of
you
that.
start reusing assets, right,
You
it
said
saves
ass.
it saves memory in the level, and I really encourage you to see the making of that pool game, because what you probably don't notice is all the particle effects, the light drawing in from the windows.
Oh no, it looks very cool. There's no two ways about
It's
it. It is
impressive.
brilliant. It is brilliant, and it really did. And I said this to you. It felt like you were in some really old drawing room in some old house, playing pool. Very clever. Looks great.
Amazing.
But I'll come back to what I said before. It's a very good representation of a pool game, but it's not a good pool game.
No, but I think it's difficult because you don't have the creation bug in you.
No, and I'm sort of I guess my expectations were higher than what I probably now realise is like reasonable to be able to be made within it.
See, for me, if I hear that tune of like, there's limitations, right? When you make it, so I start making a level, and then I realise there's limitations and things. What I start to do then is think, well, how can I get around them, right? And I'm bad at it.
Which, to be fair, that's what game developers do in general.
That's what they do all the time. You just don't know it.
All the time.
So like, I would advise you to not worry about that yet. It's not that it's not a valid concern, Stu. I just think that, I think there will be games that you will probably spend an hour or more in Dreams.
Yeah, I mean, look, and this also exemplifies what the demos that we played at EGX, because one of them was a text adventure game. Well, that doesn't take up much memory, so that's actually quite a good game to make within it, because you can text.
You can keep going.
Is hardly any. Yeah, you can do it. You can make it massive.
Sure.
And again, that's getting creative with what's available, isn't it? And going, right, I want to make something more like a solid, proper experience.
You could make a really simple golf game. You could make, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could make a Pong Battle Royale. That's a pretty good idea, actually. But
I do like that.
what I'm saying
I think
is,
what I'm saying is, go on,
what I'm saying is,
what are you saying?
Is shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I think what I'm saying is that I'm still going to get the early access if I get the availability, or I get the email saying I can have it at 24 quid or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm still going to buy it.
How did you get that, by the way?
You had to send an email in, so you had to request to be put in the queue. So because it's limited early access.
Fuck off.
I'm only telling you. I put a bloody post up on Facebook.
It ain't limited.
It
they will want my money.
Well, we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. But anyway, you had to send the register to be register an interest for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna do it because you get at the end of it, you get the full game at that price, so you don't have to pay the full game price of 49 quid or whatever it's supposed to be when it releases. So I don't know. The jury's out slightly. I'm not quite as impressed as I was, but I am still impressed. I am still impressed with what I've seen.
Yeah.
And I do believe it's going to be cool, but I just don't think it's going to be as comprehensive. There's a good word. As I thought it was going to be.
I think in a way it's maybe too comprehensive, because there's so many options in it that people will get overwhelmed, and they'll spend a lot of time. I was just playing Minecraft on a thing where the dude spent forever making the tunnel that led to his home, and then his home was a piece of shit. Like, it's very easy to get distracted, I think.
But I think people love that stuff. I love that stuff.
And I think the other issue is going to be, which it always is, people are just going to attempt to make clones of stuff that already exists.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's already a Dead Space clone.
Yeah.
There's already.
But rather than being creative and making something unique,
but people
and
will get creative. Like there's a mix.
You don't know what's going to happen in the future, Stu.
It's going to be a mix. There's going to be a mix of everything.
I know. But
the internet.
My expectations are high.
I mean, you can guarantee there's going to be shit. You can guarantee there's going to be clones of fucking every game you can think of. But you can also
I can't
guarantee
wait for them to make Rocket League and Dream.
You can also guarantee that that somebody will make something really unique and borderline like, why isn't this actual game? And if somebody So if I guarantee somebody will get fucking hired after this. They'll make a level or make
I was gonna
something.
say get high.
and
Somebody's gonna get high.
Somebody will
People are gonna
definitely
get high
somebody will
and do
definitely
this.
get high. But somebody might get hired from making what they, if somebody went to, I need a job as a game developer. What have you done? Well, I've made these things in Unity. I've done this in Dreams. Or, and they'll be like, well, he's obviously got the right brain for it. Let's get him in. So
it's ambitious.
It's ambitious.
I think that's the thing.
It's very
hugely-
appealing to
it's
me because
hugely ambitious.
I can't code. I'm too old to learn how to code. So this is kind of middleware, software made for me to kind of just get into it. Easy stuff. And I'm gonna try and leverage my humor bone because that's what I can do uniquely.
You're gonna make me a
Chin
walk
bone's connected to the humor bone.
And I'm gonna try and make some kind of funny stuff and see how far I get. But to be fair, Stu, I could just borrow everybody else's shit that they've made, right? Because you can. So if somebody's made some sort of forest area, and I'm like, I just need a forest area.
You can steal people's assets
like that. That's fine. That it's all about how you package it. So I might even do that. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's very exciting to think what
I'm interested to see what you do.
Pilch is in the chat. Hello to Pilch.
What up,
everyone.
Pilch?
Hello, Pilch.
Yeah, I think that's enough about Dreams.
I have got one more game.
Go for it, Stuart. Go for
His
it.
game list is never ending.
I know, and I have played quite a bit of this.
Go on.
I've played quite a bit. Which is Mario Odyssey.
Odyssey, let's see.
Odyssey. Because I traded in.
Odyssey.
I traded in Devil May Cry 5, and I got Mario Odyssey in its place.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good. I got £32 for my trade.
So you're not a Mario kind of guy.
I'm not.
So what do you think? What do you see in Mario Odyssey?
Really hate this. No, I really like it actually.
It's great.
It's very cool. I've got to say, on face value, the levels seem fairly small. But in reality, they're really big.
Oh, there's loads.
Because there's so many secret places and so many interesting things you can do, and like throwing your hat on stuff to get to inaccessible places. It's like the Tyrannosaurus Rex. You want to be one of those? Yep, you can.
Yep.
Just jump on the dinosaur.
Yep.
Become the dinosaur.
You are the dinosaur.
You are the dinosaur.
Yeah.
And I love this incorporation of these 2D levels within the 3D world. They're very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool. And I just love the transition from one to the other. It's so smooth and it's seamless and it's just cool. I actually really, really like this game a lot.
Yeah. It's slick.
It's very slick. I've never been a big Mario fan, but this is kind of the pinnacle of Mario. Mario being a game. They have like gone right. What can we do with Mario that we haven't done before? Right, let's do that.
What I kind of see Mario Odyssey as is people probably my age making the Mario game making the correct sequel to Mario 64.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I feel like with.
And
Mario
I've never
Odyssey.
played that game, so that means nothing to me.
I know, but like Mario 64 is kind of like is the best 3D Mario, right?
Yeah.
And they never topped it. They peaked early, like we did at EGX Res, and they could never.
Yes, we did.
They never topped it, and Sunshine was Marmite, very hot or cold on that. Galaxy's very, very good, but it's on the Wii, so it's got motion controls, and you can't really play.
Well, this also has that's one of the things that sort of vexed me slightly was that if you detach the controllers, you can do this boomerang throw and all this other stuff that you can't actually do unless you detach the controllers.
Yeah. Well, I played it all with the H controller, the kind of controller that you've.
Yeah.
I played Mario Odyssey with that the whole way.
So did the flicking it work and do the boomerang throws and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've just played it like with it on the side, so maybe I need to do that.
Yeah. I love it. I don't know.
Like I said, that's a very minor gripe.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, like I say, it's just I found myself on this level that we're looking at on screen now, just spending ages just trying to find all the secret places.
Yeah.
And then also, sometimes you'll see something underneath where you are, and you're like, right, how do I get to that then?
Mm.
And you end up going back round again to try and figure out how you get to that part of the screen. Yeah, it's super slick, super brilliant. Looks great on the big screen. Looks great on the handheld.
Mm.
It's really fantastic. And it also does this thing where it's like, oh, you only need 4 of these moons, but actually there's probably about 20 or 30 in each level.
The way I played it was I got as many moons.
Yeah, which is what I'm doing.
In the level as I can, and then I move on. Remember, I played this for Extra Life, 24 hours. I've never played it since.
You did. But yeah, it's phenomenal game. I can see the polish. He's so polished.
It's brilliant.
And essentially, having traded in Devil May Cry, it cost me £6. So £6's pretty good, I would have said, for a Mario game.
Pretty good going.
Pretty good. £6.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to get plenty more of that played. I'm on holiday this week. I'm going away from tomorrow. So I will be taking the Switch with me. So I'm sure I'll be playing plenty more of this whilst I'm away.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. That's everything. Time to move on.
What is it? News?
There is a little bit of news this week.
Awesome.
Putting news first.
There's been a whole shitstorm over at BioWare this week. I don't know whether you've seen this.
No.
Huge shitstorm. So basically, Kotaku. Every now and again, they do these kind of really in-depth, like journalistic pieces where they do an expose or they do like tons and tons of research for something before they release it and write it. And basically, one of the guys over at Kotaku did a massive investigation into working practices and everything that went on at BioWare. And talked to loads of ex-employees, talked to current employees, named and shamed quite a few of the high-up managers and people who work there, and basically said the way that they work there is pretty terrible. They don't treat people well. They're sort of treating people badly, and to put it mildly, BioWare weren't best impressed with what went down.
Okay, so what happened?
BioWare wasn't impressed? What?
BioWare.
What do you mean they weren't impressed?
Because basically they were saying how shit BioWare...
I wouldn't imagine they'd be impressed. You report on a horrible company, then the company's going to get mad.
Yeah, so
BioWare says. I care what people say about BioWare.
Yeah, so they weren't best impressed. I mean, and like I say, the interesting thing about this, is that they actually got a response out within something like 20 minutes of the article going up. And
so BioWare did?
Yes. So they got a response to it, within sort of 20 minutes of the article being released. But the article, the guy who's reporting on it, who read the article, said it took him the best part of an hour to read it.
Okay. What?
I don't know what you mean.
So basically, the PR people who released the response to the article didn't have time to read the article and then formulate a proper response to what.
That's crazy. I'm angry that BioWare does not treat its workers well because they know how to make good games, but that's not the only thing that matters in life. They should treat their workers better.
Oh yeah,
and this is not specific to only to BioWare. This is a problem. This is why game developers need a union.
And they released a big statement, by the way. It wasn't like a little one. It was quite a big statement that they released. No, the BioWare themselves.
I don't really care that much about what BioWare says about this. What are they going to say? We do everything in our power to make sure our workers have blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but this was the problem. That's not what they said.
What did they say? Fuck the workers. We hate them.
Well, this was their official response. I'll read some of it just to give you a gist of what they said.
Boy, I can't wait.
I know, bet you can. We'd like to take a moment to address an article published this morning about BioWare and Anthem's development. First and foremost, we wholeheartedly stand behind every current and former member of our team that worked on the game, including leadership. So they made a point of saying leadership was fine.
Right.
It takes a massive amount of effort, energy, blah, 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 blah. We chose not to comment or participate in this story because we felt there was an unfair focus on specific team members and leaders who did their absolute best to bring this totally new idea to fans. We didn't want to be part of something that was attempting to bring them down as individuals. We respect them all, and we built this game as a team. We put great emphasis. I know, yeah. We put great emphasis on our workplace culture and in our studios. The health and well-being of our team is something we take very seriously.
Exactly what I just said. The company's giving a PR spin bullshit.
We
Why
have
are we
built a
spending
new.
our time reading this bullshit
Listen,
out?
I'm coming to the reason that everyone got so incensed
Maybe
about
we just
their
jump right
response.
to the reason. Go on.
No, I know, but I'm trying to find it because it's a few days since I read it. We have built a new leadership team over the last couple of years, starting with Casey Hudson as our GM, blah, 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 blah. We put a lot of focus on being better planning to avoid crunch time, and it was not a major topic feedback in our internal postmortems. Making games, especially a new IP, will always be one of the hardest entertainment challenges. We do everything we can to try and make it healthy and stress-free, but we also know there is always room to improve. So they're aware that there are issues, but they just didn't bother to sort it out.
This is what every company does ever, always.
You know, and that's why everybody does.
We're going to make things better. Don't worry, we hear you. And meanwhile, nothing changes and they don't hear anything.
And then they went on, but the reward of putting something we created into the hands of our players is amazing. So it's fine that everyone was ill and people were mentally challenged and people had real problems, but as long as the players get what they want, it's all fine, and we get the money. You know,
it's about the money.
I want to.
Video game developers are going to get their union.
Exactly.
Because that's the only way this is going to stop. I mean, we could demand that they treat workers better, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah. It's just a shame. I think it's a shame that the response they gave was so terrible, you know, and it really didn't.
I agree.
It didn't respond very well. Now, since then, there has been an internal memo gone round to staff who work there. Which was probably better worded and better than what the official response was. So they are, by the looks of it, trying to address the issues and sort things out internally.
No, I don't believe that. I believe that they're trying to prevent people from talking to the press. Companies don't make changes just because they have it in their hearts to care or because they get a little bit of bad press. You get bad press in a company, you do PR spin control, damage control. I'm sorry, I'm very hostile to this notion.
No, I totally agree with you, and I feel the same way, you know, and I know what they're doing. But I think it's a shame, from my point of view, I think it's a shame because we know some of the great games that BioWare have made in the past, and it could well be that it was still the same back then, but it probably wasn't.
It's hard to say. I mean, they were a much smaller company back then, I think.
Exactly.
And, you know, we need to know what the game developers say. That's why, you know, a union can be good to speak for the workers.
Well, yeah, it is pretty terrible. But that's the only real story I wanted to touch on, was just to say that, you know, it's been a huge shitstorm and things have got to change because we hear so many stories like this about game development.
And most of the people who talk to the press as game developers are the people who are doing the higher end work in terms of, like, you know, story or, you know, designing levels and stuff. Most of the people who work in these games are QA, and they're sitting there running up against invisible walls for 8 hours a day or 12 or 14 hours, whatever it is. That's those are the assembly line workers.
But then they know what they're doing, though. They know what they're signing up for when they take that job on.
Yeah, but you know what? I knew what I was signing up for when I became a teacher. That doesn't mean that I deserve to have 20% more students this year.
No, and I think what concerns me is my hobby, which, you know, one of my major hobbies, which is obviously playing video games, I don't want it to come at the detriment of people's health. Absolutely. You know, I don't want people being ill just so I can play a video game. And I think that's the way I look at it and view it. I just think, like, why are these people suffering just so I'm suffering for their art? That's what they're doing, I guess. But yeah, why are people suffering just so I can play the game that they create at the end of all that suffering?
Because of capitalism, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Stephen Mill in the chat says BioWare may have seen the article in advance, so the publisher could ask them for a comment in response they could publish.
Yeah, but that makes in a way that kind of makes it worse. So they've had prior knowledge of this and seen the article before it was published, and that's still the official response. They obviously didn't really think about the official response very much, or didn't really consider the implications of what they were putting out there.
No.
As the official response.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that this is what game development has come to. What happened to just people being passionate about making great games and not
there's
worrying
still
about all
people. There's
that
still
shit.
people out there doing.
Yeah, they're getting Dream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. And that's kind of it for news, unless you two want to mention anything or anything that you want to talk about.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Nope. Well, in that case, I guess it's time for some emails.
Whoa, that ruled.
Now, I have to say, it's been a quiet week on the emails.
Oh, has it really?
Yeah, it's been a quiet week. We've only got 3. Count. 1, 2,
Come
3.
on, people.
1
Your
and 3.
chance to
3
be
is a lot of emails.
internet famous
Happy
podcast.
to get those emails. Thank you for emailing us, you 3.
Podcast at veterangamers.co.uk. Email us. Tell us that we're wrong, that we're right, that Mike is good looking. Whatever you want to say.
Sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Lewis now. He is internet famous and doing drugs and stuff. So he said last week.
Yep.
On the back of emails. That's
Correct.
all on
That
the
could
back
be
of...
you.
I'm not saying that's a good, by the way. I don't condone taking drugs.
I do.
But just saying what he's up to.
Mm.
The first one's off Pilch Reed, who's in the chat.
Hi, Pilch.
He's in the chat. He says Arcade Club.
Mm.
Arcade Club. Yeah, just to mention, we didn't mention it at the start of the show, but we are going for.
By the time you hear this, it'll be over.
It'll be done.
No, it won't.
No, it won't.
I'm just playing.
No, it won't. On the 13th of April, everybody's welcome. You might not be able to get in, but you're welcome to come.
Yeah,
you'll
they'll
be
get
fine.
in.
You'll get it.
Somebody asked
anyway,
me how much it is, and I said 15.
£16.
Is it £16 now?
16. It's gone up a pound.
£16 entry. It's a little bit cheaper for children. So if you look young, maybe you can get in.
Who wants to have children around when you're playing video games?
Correct.
Exactly.
The right response.
Right. Pilch says this. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Just confirming the Boss Wave Massive.
Boss. Wait.
Will be in the house on Saturday the 13th for the meetup. And more importantly, the evening piss-up. Yeah, we need to correct him there. There isn't one of those. Is there? Is there one of those?
Carry on reading.
Anyway. Although Rob don't drink and Christopher is driving home after, so it'll be down to poor old Pilch to bat for the team.
You can get wrecked, Pilch, but nobody else is going to be drinking.
Yeah. On you, Todd.
Well, Kyle will probably have a drink.
Yeah, Kyle will get
My brother will probably have a drink. My brother's mate will probably have a drink.
He'll be looking for a casino in Bury somewhere. Where's there a casino? I want to go to
a casino in Bury.
Casino in Bury. Yeah, they just spin black puddings on a table. Looking forward to seeing Chinny, Stu, and that jacket again. Well, he's wrong.
Oh, the jacket.
The jacket is gone.
So just to pause this a little moment. Stu was at the same fucking jacket for years.
7 years.
And
7
Stu
years
was so proud,
Love
and he
that
says,
jacket.
he came to my house on Friday, he went, what do you think of my
True.
new jacket? I was like, new? It looks exactly the same as your old one.
It doesn't, but it's a kind
Me
of
too, jacket boss. Same as the old boss jacket.
Exactly. It's new, but it looks similar. It's a different color and stuff, but it's a similar style. Similar style. Anyway, it's nice for smaller podcast hosts to be in the presence of gods. Yeah, that's true. I'll agree with that. Yep. And to get a feel how megastars handle the adulation of the great unwashed.
Yeah.
That's fine. We'll show you how that's done. Just one thing, though. Please, can you make this week's show 3 hours and 47 minutes long so I have something to listen to on the drive up? So that's how
Okay, we're going to play Rick Astley over and over again. You ready?
Yeah, I'll put it on.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna lie around and
Now, can I just say
stuff and whatnot. I got royalty.
Can I just say, if he doesn't listen to the Resd podcast and then adds that onto this week's podcast, it might be close.
Might be close.
It might be close. It might not quite get there, but it'll be close. Just one thing, though. Yeah, please can you do the blah, 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 blah. See you all next week. That's tomorrow for all the listeners, because obviously it's now Friday. Hashtag beef. Well, you're wrong again. Wrong twice in one email. Who knew?
Mm-hmm.
Later's Belch. Okay, second email this week is from Paul McLaughlin.
What up, Paul?
Hey, Paul.
I feel like when I do a Scottish name, I have to say it like I'm pissed. Don't know why. Don't know. McLaughlin. Anyway, he says, well done, veterans. I enjoyed the Rickroll with April Fool's podcast.
Never gonna give you up. Sorry.
Thought it was too good to be true, releasing it a hell of a lot earlier than usual, and I expected it to be 2 hours of silence. Well, no, actually, you got to listen to cool stuff. Rick, a bit of Rick. But wow, the actual podcast released on Tuesday. Well done to all of, especially to Stu. Of course.
You want credit for that, Stu? Like for uploading a file?
I am taking credit.
Way sooner than you should.
Do you know what's kind of interesting? When I did upload the real show, people thought that was another April Fool's or a follow-up. I got you again.
Fool me once, tricks on me. Fool everybody. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. So it's all good. Didn't fool anyone the second time because it was
never gonna give you up.
It was real. Great. It now seems relevant at long last. The only downside is I still have 3 days of work left of the week rather than it arriving on my last working day. But I can easily live.
Sucks to be you.
Can easily live with that. Keep it up, Paul Mc.
Yeah.
Paul McLaughlin.
Thanks, Paul.
So anyway, thank you, Paul. That is very kind
Paul.
of you.
We appreciate your email.
Always appreciate feedback. Feedback is good. So that's good. Right, okay. The final email this week is...
Final email
is from Derek Sands. And he says this: everybody's talking at me. I see what it is. It's a song. He always does song references.
Talking at me.
I can hear a word to say.
We don't need that.
Only the echo.
No.
Wow. Anyway, he says this: hey ho, veteran gamers.
Hi, Derek.
Bury Arcade Club time is a mere 6 days away.
Yeah.
I have everything sorted: train tickets, accommodation, etc.
Cool.
From what you said in previous weeks, it sounds like there will be a sizable crowd of veteran gamer listeners attending. We actually did a bit of a workout yesterday, didn't we, Chinny? Or was that today?
That was today.
That was today. Feels like yesterday now. And we got up to about 30 people, just counting in our heads.
We counted 30 in our heads, but as always with these events, you've got to sort of say about 10 to 20% will drop out.
Yeah.
So
we counted 30, so it could either be more or it could be less.
It could be more, could be less. Pilch says it's £16 now. He's out, so that's one down.
Woohoo! No, it's fine. Anyway,
sorry, Pilch. It's just £15 was fine. Yeah, £16 is too much.
Anyway, this leads him to his question of the week.
So shoot, let me hear you. Fire away, Chief.
I know plenty of people who can meet someone new and within 30 minutes talk to them like they're old friends.
Nope, that's not us.
It's not really something I've ever been able to do. Stu, Chinny and Duke never seem short of things to say, so I always assume that part of their personality is carried over into their personal lives. So, have you got any tips for me and other listeners about knowing how to react and talk to people when meeting them for the very first time? Now, the reason we didn't play any more games on the train was something happened kind of links to this very thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so explain, Chinny, what happened on the train. You go.
We got onto the train and we sat on a table opposite two...
Well, first of all, you told a woman to shift.
I told her to fucking move and she was opposite.
Oh, woman, shit.
No, she was in our seat.
No, shift.
She was on our seat. And then they were sitting, two ladies were sitting opposite us. And then I think the train announcer made quite a funny announcement and we started talking about it. And I pointed... The train announcer said, Can everybody
Who
please
stopped singing?
can everybody please stop singing? It's not good. Just stop singing. And
Never gonna give you up.
and I pointed at the woman opposite me and went, "Pack it in." Right? She thought it was funny,
Like you do.
and you know, and then we got chatting to these two ladies, and it turns out we had. All right, yeah, one butted in after a while. Yeah, it's not that interesting.
Like she did.
She listened a lot, and then she joined in.
And then somebody jumped in, like someone had just like sparked her up.
Yeah. So we started talking to these.
Well, they were lovely, by the way. We should say they were very
nice. And we had a lot in common. She was a big Phoenix Knights fan. And I was like, oh my God, I love Phoenix. It's amazing that you can sit opposite someone and then all of a sudden you got something to talk about. And you're like, yeah, Phoenix Knights. And we didn't play bloody Worms.
No, we just talked for hours,
those
didn't
two
we? All the
ladies.
way
It
up.
was very fun.
We very rarely ran out of anything to say. We were talking TV shows. We did talk video games at one point because
They asked us while we were in London.
they did. And the lady who sort of sat and listened for a while, it was a lovely lady. Her husband's a huge gamer.
Yeah.
And she was going to tell him about it, so he may be listening now.
He might be listening.
You never know.
And if you are, we pulled your wife.
What's happening, buddy?
Very nice. Chini,
Nice, my wife.
I'm beginning to think that Chini is into middle-aged ladies. I think he's got a thing for middle-aged ladies.
I don't know.
But yeah, and I think this comes back to the what tips. I think it's finding some common ground is a really good tip for talking to people. Is finding something that you're both interested in, and the thing is, Derek, when you come to the meetup, everybody's interested in video games. So
Not everybody. I'm, if I were there, I wouldn't be.
Well, yeah, exactly. No, well, we're not talking about you. But yeah, so you should be fine because everybody's into the same thing that you're into. So you don't even have to wonder what they like.
In other words, if you're worried about the feeling of the game, like what people are going to do at the meetup, what they're not going to do is give you up or let you down.
That's right. They will never let you down.
Never going to give you up. Sorry.
Duke, have you got any tips for?
Yeah. You know what? Here's the thing. Derek Sain said in his email that we never have like a problem talking about things. What I would say is, I mean, I don't even know.
Yeah.
It's
Anyway, yeah, and the other tip.
We have some dinner.
I see what you did there. The other tip is what Chini said. Do something funny or say something funny. That always works.
What I put it down to is you got to take a risk.
Spontaneity.
That's right. Like, for instance, if you're sitting next to someone on a train, you don't know them, you say, "Hi, my name is," and then you say your name, and then you go, "Have you ever had diarrhea real bad?"
My name is Real Slim
Yeah.
Shady.
What I say is
Start doing Eminem lyrics while I'm making a joke. Either way.
Yeah. I say, hi, have you ever thought that Hitler might be okay?
Are you one of those people who doesn't like Hitler?
Yeah.
That would work.
Have you noticed how many people don't like Hitler lately?
That would work unless they were Jewish.
You got to take a
You're
risk.
not Jewish, are you? That's why you start. You're not Jewish, are you?
On that train, I pointed at that lady, and she could have very well gone,
taken offence.
Fuck you, you little prick.
What are you doing?
When I did some interviews for the
And I said you
videos
swore quite a lot.
on EGX, right? I said face to face to the developer, where the fuck have you been? And I feel like the sort of bigger risk you take, if it pays off, it relaxes. We spoke. This is only the audio version, but we spoke to Colin, who was the sort of Rocket League inspired Axiom soccer game, and we got on like a house on fire. And I think with me, it's my job as well. I have to interview a lot of people on video, and usually they're worried, about it, or they've been thinking about it, and kind of my role is to calm them down, find common ground. So for one thing that I was very proud of that I did recently was I interviewed this guy and I saw him park up on the car park, right? Didn't quite know that was him, and then they introduced me. I was like, oh, this is the man that I saw park up. He parked up a scooter, right? but it wasn't a normal scooter. It was a vintage scooter. And I was like, a man with a vintage scooter does not have a vintage scooter unless he really fucking loves scooters, right? So then I said, "You are the guy with the scooter. Like I'm never afraid to just
Hey, Mr. Scooter Man!
You're the scooter dude, right?"
Scooter.
And it instantly drops the tone. Like everybody relaxes, and he says, "Yeah." And I was like, "You into scooter?" And then he talked about scooters for a good 10 minutes.
And then eventually, would you shut the fuck up?
No, eventually I was like, but he's
Jesus.
relaxed. He knows that I'm listening to him. And you remember people as well better when you have a little story about them.
As for the first time you meet people, here's what I recommend. When you're on a train, as soon as you realize someone is about to like sit down next to you that you don't know, close your eyes, pretend to be asleep, and then you can go, "Ah, what the? Where am I? What is this? Why is this thing moving?"
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure that would work, but we could try it.
Another tip is remember their name. People.
Or another tip is
And
put
ask
your bag
questions
there
about
so they can't sit down.
Yeah. Another tip is just I don't know, just get naked.
Yeah, can I just say, by the way, the pushing the boundaries doesn't always work.
No, I've
doesn't
got
always
examples where I did something.
Well, I've got one, which was last year at EGX, where I asked the PR guy for Dreams what he was going to do about all the dick levels.
Yeah.
And he just looked at me as though I'd asked him if he had the biggest spot ever on his face.
Yeah.
He really didn't didn't even crack a smile. And then just completely paced it up and just carried on with his PR spiel.
Yeah.
So that didn't work. So it does go wrong.
The first time you meet somebody, try this. Say, "Hey, you know nothing about me. What would you think is the worst venereal disease I've ever had?" Like questions like that.
No, but I would like that. That's quite good. That's quite good.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey, do you know what time the gonorrhea police are gonna show up here today? Then they're like, "What's the gonorrhea police?" It's like, why are you asking? What are you talking about? And then you have something.
Just go up to a stranger. Is chlamydia symptomless?
Yeah.
I've got this itch down below. Do you have any idea what it might mean?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, my general advice is you've got to take a bit of a risk. Try not to stick with the norm. Conversation.
Yeah.
And
the other thing is, and I think this quite often, especially with video games, you know, and I said this earlier, we've all got that in common. You know, we all play video games, and it really doesn't matter whether you're old or young or short or fat or tall or thin or a woman or a man or whatever.
Both.
Yeah.
Or everything.
As long as you're not
gender neutral or gender fluid or whatever. It doesn't make any difference.
As long as you're not Jewish.
As long as you're not Jewish, because I don't know any Jews.
At least I don't work for Jews.
I never did. Ugh. So
yeah.
So as long as we should be careful because we say that and then like people might not realize and think we are being really offensive.
We are joking. I am Jewish. We don't have
no, we don't mind the Jews.
Just to clear it.
It's just black. It's just black people. We don't
okay.
But yeah, and I think that what the great thing about video games is all those barriers or stuff that you might perceive as a barrier just isn't anymore because we all have that one thing in common that we all love.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it when we do meetups, right? Stu and I get put in weird positions because everybody who listens to the show,
69 position, for instance.
Yeah, we get in that. God damn. We
Kama Sutra out. We have all these weird positions.
People know
saying something.
People know me. They know Stu. They know about Tara. They know that I poked a fucking coat hanger down my toilet to unblock it. They know all this stuff about me.
You know, I was dying for a poo and put your wedding shoes on and went to McDonald's to do one.
And I don't know them. So when I shove a camera in their face, right?
Hey, what do you know about this toilet?
I have to like kind of gauge who they are, and then for example, I'll pick on Kyle, right? The first time I met Kyle from the Entertain Nerds, you've kind of got to reach their wavelength, right? And then you realise Kyle he always just looks like he's on another planet, and I love Kyle, just to let you know. But he's always kind of like this kind of dreamy state that I'm envious of, right?
He's on drugs.
He's just kind of like,
he is,
yeah,
he is
whatever.
drugs.
And I'm always like, you're right. I remember the first time we met Bongo, right? And then you kind of realise that Bongo's insane, and that's
totally
great.
nuts.
That's why his name is ironic.
Bongo, and you learn that Verbal Rob is quite mellow, and he's quite introverted, but he's very smart. So you kind of have to find this middle ground, and the sooner you
is the craziest dancer.
So what I do is as soon as I can latch on something that I can relate to, right? I grab it and I stretch it out. So that's what I do.
So Rob, tell us about how low key you are. Why are you so low
now,
key?
Rob and I are basically the same person, but he's an introvert and I'm an extrovert. But apart from that,
the yin and yang.
We're very similar. We have very similar sense of humor. He's much better well read than I am, but he's it's quite okay. We don't drink, all that stuff. But two things that I forgot of that we haven't mentioned. Remember when we went to London yesterday?
Yes, I do.
And
it seems only like yesterday.
And we were coming up. We had to go on the overground, right?
We did
instead of the underground. You don't want to go on the overground. It's fucking weird. And we went on that, and then there was this chap with long hair, and he was clearly going to fucking EGX Res.
Oh God, that's right. Yeah.
And he was. I thought he was with somebody because he was kind of behind me, and he was talking. He was like, we can't go that way because the lift is now closed. And this is how he was talking, right? And then we kind of go up the stairs, and he's like, yeah, I think this is the way. And then I turn round, and this fucker is on his own, right?
He was.
I'm like, oh shit, this guy's talking to himself. And then he looked, he stood by the exit of the overground, and he went, where next? I need a map. Like, I'm not exaggerating his accent, right? Like, he was this enthusiastic.
He didn't look like he talked like that.
And I think it's this way. And he had long hair down to his arse, and he strided off to the. I wanted to talk to him. He sounded interesting. Maybe I should do more of that at EGX this year. Is interview the weirdest people I can find.
There you go. You look bizarre. You have a hentai shirt that's tucked into your wide
Can
fronts.
I interview you? I'm interviewing people that look intelligent.
Yeah. Right, on the back of this, I've got a challenge for Derek. I've got a challenge for him. I think when he comes to the meetup, he just picks some random person who's with us, not just some random person.
And throws up in their hand.
And vomits on their face.
Yeah.
And sees what happens. No, and sort of just say something edgy. You know, you need to see, put something out there, see what happens.
Had a razor blade in your ass.
Yeah. That's a good look. There's a tip. There you go. You've got something ready-made in case you can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Have you got a razor blade in your ass?
Yeah. Have you ever farted inwards?
Oof, sounds dangerous. I used to as a kid, right? This is a true story. As a kid, I thought, I mean, mate, and we both agreed on this, that if you burped and farted at the same time, you would die.
You would die.
You would die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm still convinced that if you sneeze with your eyes open, your eyes will pop out your head.
It probably will. That's why you close them. What's the matter with you?
It's impossible.
Can we just say, Lewis in the chat says he identifies as a Vauxhall Cavalier SRI.
And we should all respect that.
We should respect that's what he wants to identify
Lewis,
as.
I have to say, is one of my favourite people at the moment. I played Apex with him about 2-3 weeks ago, and I decided then and there, I was like, Lewis is so fucking funny. He's so
very
funny. For a young man, he is so funny. He actually sent me.
So funny. He made my foot fall off one time.
He actually sent an Instagram message. Do you want me to read it? It was very nice.
Go.
He said, "Stu's a dick," and he said, "It's coming up to 4 years since I started listening to your show,
wow,
and I'd like to say thanks for all the laughs and the fun that you've given me. Keep up the solid work." Said he found us when he first got his iPhone, and he thought he'd give podcasts a try, and he just got his Xbox, so he searched Xbox, and we came up, and he's been listening to the show since, and he started writing in.
Threw his iPhone away.
He
I'm
started
totally shocked he's been
Fuck is
listening
this
for
shit?
4 years. 4 years. So back when he was
Shocked.
13, 14. And then he only
Wow.
started he writing in about a year ago. But yeah, no other podcasters kept him coming back like the veteran gamers. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks.
Lewis.
That's
Yeah,
lovely.
thanks, buddy.
That is
Now,
so
incidentally,
nice.
we've got another email off Lewis.
I was
Oh
just-
yeah.
Press, it's just arrived.
See, he's in the chat now, Lewis. He says, "I'm funny until you meet me in real life, and then it's just annoying."
Well, he might be funny looking.
I don't think he is. No, there's a picture on my Instagram. He looks like a handsome chap.
Is he a handsome chap?
Yeah.
Right, okay, here we go. Hi, veterans.
Hello.
Hi.
You're all well, as per usual. Currently on end of term holiday. Well, it's not really a holiday because of all the revision I have to do. Yeah, I know all about this with Millie last year or this time last year when she was revising like crazy for her exams. And the fact that I have to head, try again. And the fact I have to head into school a couple of times. But amidst all of this, I have found some spare time to do my hobby, which is gaming.
Good.
Snorting games. That's not healthy at all. Hey, didn't you learn anything about the Nintendo Switch cartridge thing where they're dipping them in bitter or something so you don't eat them?
Yeah, that's been going
Yeah,
on since
straight.
the Switch started.
You know,
And now this guy's snorting games? That's not good.
I forgot about that. I'm going to give it a lick.
Don't
See
when
what
you
it tastes
when you
like.
lick it, Stu, film it.
I'm gonna film myself licking my Switch just to
And
see
then-
what it tastes like.
And then send it to me, please. And then I will
think-
upload it to the
I'm gonna
YouTube.
do that.
Ice
I
bucket
might do
challenge.
I might do the baby face when it eats a lemon for the first time.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, anyway, yes, gaming. That is my hobby. Skate 3. Pretty much Skate 3 whenever I can.
Mm.
Don't
You
snort
see-
that game cartridge.
You see, that game is legendary with kids
Yeah.
in my ear because we were all about 8 years old when it came out. And at that point, shooters were really on the menu. Or weren't,
Yeah.
sorry. Shooters weren't really on the menu.
That's right.
But this was. I never had a 360, but I have so many memories of going to my mate Spencer's house and spending hours playing it. So, the other day, whilst in CEX, trading in a couple of games, I saw the very last copy that they had. It's wrecked. There's like plastic hanging off the box and stickers from the last 3 times it's been sold. But, Doc worked, and I'm in love with it all over again.
I'm in love with someone who has chlamydia.
Blimey. To me, it brought me back into reading Thrasher magazine.
Oh,
and took me digging out the old board for a test drive.
you know what? I remember when I was in high school, a friend of mine had a copy of Thrasher magazine that had featured a letter in it from someone who was skating at his local skate park, and he had to go to the bathroom real bad. But there was nowhere around to go to the bathroom. And he ended up shitting in his pants, and he had to skate home with the shit coming down his pants and legs.
Oh,
And it
mama.
said, shit happens. The editors wrote, shit happens. And we just passed it around all day at school. Hey, have you read the letter in Thrasher magazine? So now every time I see someone with a Thrasher magazine t-shirt, and a bunch of kids at school wear these, I think of that story. You're welcome.
Wow, who knew? Yeah, anyway, so it's finally time for the big question.
Ooh.
What do you think was the game that changed the industry the most?
Game changer.
See, for me, I can tell you straight away what I think it was.
Go on.
Straight up now, tell me, are you really
Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Really?
Because I think that was the first time I played a proper full-on 3D adventure game that worked.
So it changed you the most.
It changed the industry, didn't it? Because it was the first kind of story-driven adventure game with really interesting sort of level design and cool and interesting platforming and like secret moves you could pull off, like swan dive and stuff like that. It did cool stuff. It had like little Easter eggs and things that I have never seen before in it. And I guess the other one, I suppose, before that was probably Flashback. Not a Flashback. The other one, Another World.
Oh yeah, that was classic.
Another World, probably prior to that on the Amiga.
You're wrong, by the way.
I am.
I don't know if I could say what changed the industry the most. I feel like Wolfenstein
GTA 3.
I've got the right answer. The right answer is E.T. Because
yeah, it is. It's true. That
because
is true.
it's not a joke answer.
No, it's true.
E.T. changed the industry so much it fucking killed it for a few years. And what developers started to learn, and what the publishers learned, that you can't just churn out any old shit, because that was the pattern, right? People were churning out shit and people were buying it. E.T. was so bad that it didn't sell, even though it was tied to a very successful movie. And then it took Nintendo really to.
And they put all the copies in a landfill in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, everybody knows that story. But it took Nintendo to, like, I think it was about 3 or 4 years later, to make Mario, which is still one of the greatest games ever made. I mean, the first one's okay, but, like, you know, it's one of the most culturally relevant video games ever. It took that to get them back, right? So I would say E.T. Everybody learned a lesson. Everybody realized that you couldn't just. Video games were going in a certain direction, and E.T. stopped that direction. And from that, we got games like Mario and Zelda.
It is. It's true.
I don't know the industry well enough to say. I know that. I think that. I don't know. I'm not even going to say
See,
it.
The other one that we can't neglect to mention is Doom, because without Doom we wouldn't had all these sort of first-person shooters that we get now. Because that was kind of.
It came before Doom, didn't it?
Yeah, but Doom was kind of the first really commercially famous one that did really well. And also, how many games have been based on the Doom engine since then?
Yeah, well.
You know, they really did introduce and perfect Team Deathmatch.
I think GTA 3 is a valid shout. I mean,
Yeah,
I think GTA 3 is a victim of right place, right time. It all sort of worked together nicely, and GTA 3 spawned a lot of genres, and people are still keeping up with that. You know, people are still making games that you can still trace back to GTA 3. Do you know what I mean? Which is interesting. I also think Minecraft is probably one of the most successful game changer, because when you think about Minecraft, one of the very, very early accounts of early access. So early access wasn't really a thing before Minecraft came along. It was kind of like the start of a one-person can make a game, because the way that the industry was going was like bigger and bigger developers, and it brought it all back down. Also, really, when you trace it back, the Battle Royale genre came from Minecraft. Then it went to Arma 3, and then it went to...
Really?
From Minecraft?
From Minecraft.
Is that true?
How?
There was a Battle Royale mod in Minecraft before the Arma 3 mod of that spawned from PUBG. So there was a Hunger Games mod in Minecraft, would you believe? Yes. So, you know, like, Minecraft has spawned YouTube channels, successful businesses, podcasts. It's had its own expo. Children don't recognize Mario, but they recognize Steve, the Minecraft avatar.
It's true.
It was kind of, you know,
they are
people would say, like, Fortnite is a big influence, but, like, well, Fortnite is kind of Minecraft again, in a way, to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, like kids buying merch and T-shirts, and it's kind of like the first game that made me feel old, in a weird way, and I think it massively changed the way games are sold, the way games are made, the way games look. Like, Minecraft didn't look particularly great. It kind of looked kind of beautiful but ugly at the same time. Very strange game, and kind of like a lightning in a bottle moment, really. But I think that changed everything.
There you go. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, Baron von Glow has put Tetris.
But, like, I suppose I don't know. I don't know if Tetris. It's probably one of the most successful games in the world.
It was a game changer when it was released with the Game Boy. You know, when
it
the
sold
when
the Game Boy, yeah.
It did sell the Game Boy. You know, when that came out, do you know what? My one abiding memory of the Game Boy was Chris Martin playing one. You know, from Coldplay, and there's suddenly all these famous people had Game Boys. You know what I mean? When it first came out, and it's like
Was Coldplay around?
maybe it wasn't him. It was a famous singer anyway.
Okay.
It possibly wasn't Chris Martin, but it was someone famous anyway, who was playing on a Game Boy.
I bought a Game Boy for £5, and it came with Tetris and
£5
and Battletoads.
Did you buy that off another drunk person?
I bought that off my brother's friend, David.
Wow, well, you did. You got a good deal.
Yeah, and
Good.
then I bought Mario Land. I like Mario Land, and yeah, I love my Game Boy.
There's a really good graphic novel about the making of Tetris. It's called Tetris: The Games People Play by Box Brown. Everybody should read it, especially if you're interested in video games, and especially if you're interested in Tetris. The guy who made it was, you know, he was Soviet, right? And so he didn't want money. He was just like, he existed in order to make games to make people's lives better. So, people would be like, hey, what do you have to say to the world? He's like, play Tetris. It's a very cute story. There's horrible, nasty stuff in it too, because one of the guys who was part of the marketing team eventually committed suicide and I think killed his family and stuff. Like, it's really messed up. I know, right? But most of the story is great. So
there you go.
Aside from the whole killing your family
terrible.
thing, it's a good story. Yeah.
It's terrible. Yeah, and it's the only games console my wife has ever bought for me, and she bought it for our wedding anniversary. She bought me one
on
and
Christmas
Eve.
Like,
I was just like, oh my god, she's bought me a Game Boy. What is happening?
Game Boy. I'd say
I was amazed. I'm like, this is amazing.
The only other game I
I've
can
still
think
got
of.
it, by the way. It still works.
No one cares. The only other game that I can
Should've.
think of that changed everything was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I mean,
yeah, totally.
Portal's important as well, but it didn't.
I don't think Portal's been as copied or influenced as many other games.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that in terms of puzzle games, I guess Tetris was the one.
Yeah.
But I do think there have been other puzzle games, including Portal, that have made a big difference.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think it's quite a good question, because we don't often think, do we, about where this stuff comes from, where people are, what influences all the stuff we're playing now, and what wouldn't be around now if this other stuff hadn't come out in the first place.
Yeah.
So there you go. Right, and that's it. That's all the emails. There isn't any more. We're done.
We're done with all the emails.
So, whoa.
Thanks for writing in, people.
Whoa, stop.
What? Now what?
Stop just a second.
What?
I didn't finish the rest of his email. And he's just got about to tell me off for that as well. Yeah. Oh, and Stu, stop skipping parts of emails. We spend time on these. You can read all of them. Oh, I'm really showing a Monday bye. Now, funnily, I very rarely do. I sometimes do it by mistake, like I just did then, because we got distracted talking about your question. That's the trouble. It's when I get distracted doing other stuff. I did. Got distracted.
I was not distracted. I knew there was more. No, I didn't.
Yeah. So, yeah, I try not to, and I have been told off by Chinny in the past for reading every bit of an email, to be fair. So it's not something I do on purpose, that's for sure. But there you go. That's it. Is that it?
I think that's it.
Do some shout-outs then and get the hell out of here.
Okay, let's do some shout-outs. Why not?
Why not?
It's time for a shout-out. Hey!
By the way, can I just say, I was just looking up famous people who played the original Game Boy, and there's a picture of Hillary Clinton playing it.
Oh, you were probably thinking of her when you thought of Chris Cole. They look a lot alike.
And another one of Cameron Diaz playing on one. There you go.
I always think of Leonardo DiCaprio in The Beach playing one.
Does he? That's kind of cool. There you go. Lots of famous people. Kirk Hammett and Jason Newsted, whoever the hell they are. Are they from a famous band, I'm guessing? I don't know. Well, they're playing them. Loads of famous people got them. It was a massive thing, a phenomenon.
Welcome to the Veteran Gamers Podcast, where we tell you that a lot of people played the Game Boy.
Famous people.
Shout-outs, for God's sake.
Amazing. Okay, that's it. By the way, Lewis says he forgot to put in the email. Could you put a picture of a Vauxhall Astra GTE Mark II on the screen? My brother used to have one of those.
No,
weirdly.
we're not putting it on the screen. We're doing shout-outs.
Oh, all right then. Right, well, that's up to Chinny. He handles all that stuff. I don't care. He can do it if he wants. Anyway, Duke, shout out. Do it. Go now.
Yes,
Duke.
Antonio. Well, let's play some Rocket League one of these days. You guys for doing the EGX Res thing. I think audio is fun. And everybody who's going to go to the arcade club, yay! And Sean Anderson is going to hang out with me. No, he's not. Oh, he can't make it. And Seth never got back to me, so I'm going to be alone that weekend. It's okay because it's the start of my spring break. What?
It's because he hates you. He hates you, Seth does. He told me.
I don't mind.
Yeah, I'll go next. I'm going to shout out Chinny and Tara for having me over while we went to Resd and stuff. So thank you very much for that. I'm going to shout out Lewis because even though he's cramming and revising, which is what he probably should be doing right now, he's taken the time to send us an email still, and he's still listening to the show live. So, but get revising, man. What are you doing?
Good on you, bud.
Sort yourself out, man. Get your revision done. I mean, he's never going anywhere while this is on the screen, is he?
Never going anywhere. Never gonna nothing. Not gonna do a thing and forget you.
Get you. Right. And that's it, I think. And obviously, you know, all the people that we didn't meet at Resd. There you go.
Right. Shout out to all the people we didn't meet.
Yeah, all the people who we never met. Because they missed out on our company. Right, yeah. Chinny, over to you.
Quick, Chinny, say something meaningful.
Shout out to Lewis for sending that Instagram message. Shout out to the rest of the emailers for emailing the show, getting involved, podcast@veterangamers.co.uk. Shout out to the people that have watched the Arcade Club 2018 meetup. I didn't talk about it, but I uploaded last year's Arcade Club video.
If you haven't seen it, then we hate you.
Yeah,
so you
onto YouTube, so check out the YouTube. It's all popping off on the YouTube channel. Going to be lots of videos going up this week because we've got some interviews with developers, we've got the EGX Res video, and of course, when you hear this, it'll be coming up to the Arcade Club 2019 meetup on the 13th of April. And I plan to get that video out very, very quickly. So it should be all good.
Look, he sets a precedent today.
So please watch the YouTube channels. Please email us, tweet us, all that shit. And we really do appreciate it. A little bit of an insight, by the way. I'm going to leave you with a, what do you call it? I'm going to leave you with a tease, right?
Oh, a tease.
With a tease.
Chinny is the king of those, or I guess, would you say cock of the walk? So you might say he's the cock tease.
Wow.
Interesting.
Never heard
it called that before. I'm going to leave
I've
you
heard
with
of a cock tease, but you know.
I bought a game on eBay. So you remember this thing about I love to finish games?
We do.
There is a game that is very, very popular. It's kind of PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube era. And it was published by... it's just behind me. I'm holding it. I'm not going to tell you. It was published by Sierra, who aren't around anymore.
Classic.
And it's a game that I never finished. Right?
What is it?
I'm not going to tell you. Because I'm going to make a series on YouTube of me playing it start to finish.
Oh, snap.
Should I tell you what it is?
Larry?
Is it Fear or Fear 2?
No, because that was released on the 360.
Oh, you're right. But that was Sierra, wasn't it? I think, was it?
Yes.
I could be wrong. I think it was.
It's based on a franchise.
Is it a James Bond game?
No. It's based on It's Duke. You of all people should not give up on what franchise this is based.
Elder Scrolls, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
You of all people should not give up.
Simpsons.
Correct.
Really?
What Simpsons game came out that is massively popular? Do you know?
Hit and Run.
Hit and Run.
Wow.
Simpsons Hit and Run. I've bought it. I've got it here, and the original game sticker is on it. Look at that. It's $39.99 still. What's adorable about this is I opened up the case, and there's the cheats. Somebody wrote the cheats on a piece of paper for me. So yeah, I've got the GameCube version because I've still got my GameCube. So I'm going to be playing that start to finish on the YouTube channel, and also maybe might do like a thing about it. So there you go. Lewis has requested Tomb Raider 3, which is a very old game that I hold near dear to my heart. I probably will do all the Tomb Raiders, Lewis, at some point. But there you go. That's it. That's the tease.
There you go.
Lovely.
There you go. We'll just say before we go, we'll look forward to meeting everybody at the Arcade Club.
Cannot wait.
So except that one guy who sucks and we don't want to meet.
Apart from that one.
Cannot wait for the Arcade Club. It's going to be good.
I'm looking forward to something spontaneous from Derek, you know?
Yeah.
And edgy. Spontaneous and edgy.
That, and we're doing the Bomberman tournament. Don't forget.
And I was just going to mention that. That's
the
what I was
Bomberman
just
tournament.
At 1 p.m., we're having a Bomberman knockout tournament.
There's on the second floor. There is a big screen right kind of at the back of the room. There's a big screen, and we're going to be holding a Bomberman tournament. Stu is in charge of like how the fuck it's structured.
Don't worry, I'll sort it out.
And remember, I mean, it's Bomberman. It's probably going to be Bomberman R, isn't it?
I've no clue. It says whatever's on the Switch. He's got a copy on something on the Switch.
That'll be Bomberman R. So there's Bomberman R. I think it's available on Game Pass. For Xbox Game Pass users.
If you want to practice.
So I'm going to practice. I'm going to get on it and give it a go and just sort of know the layout. But it is Bomberman. It is essentially Bomberman. It's not going to be too...
And it's a lot of fun.
And so 1 p.m. by the big screen. Be there or be square. And the prize is huge. It's going to be massive.
It's a massive prize.
Not a
bigger
cheap...
than you could even... Whatever you imagine as the biggest prize you could get, you're not going to be close.
It's definitely not a cheap trophy that Stu's bought.
Yeah, that might be something. That might be one of those. And it's definitely not a free T-shirt that Chinny got off someone.
And that has currently lost.
That he doesn't know where to locate.
Because Stu asked me to look at it.
I said, let's have a look at these T-shirts. And he was like, I don't know where
Don't
they
worry,
are.
Pete. I will find them. I just don't know where they are.
He's a terrible person.
Right now.
Terrible.
They're somewhere.
Terrible
in
man.
fact, are they in here? Hold on.
He doesn't know where anything is. He's terrible.
Right here.
He's a bad person.
No, they're not in here.
No, he did look. He looked there last night, Duke.
Don't worry, Pete.
He's looking probably where he looked last night.
No, they'll turn up. Shit.
Terrible.
Sorry, Pete.
Man.
I'll find them.
Terrible man. That's it. We need to get the hell out.
They're in
of
my car.
Again. I know. Well, you said
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
They're in my car.
Why don't you? Why don't you? Why don't you? Why don't you? Chill like the gel.
Chillin' like the gel.
And I'm so good for me. Why don't you? Why don't you?
Be tough. If this were a real attack, you'd be dead.
Do you know there is nothing more special than a goodbye off Dick Butt? There really isn't.
Dick Butt.
There really isn't. It's very special.
Good guy.
It makes you feel all warm inside.
Dick Buck doesn't feature on the stream as heavily as he used to.
Or as heavily as he should do.
As he should do, yeah.
As he should do.
It's true.
Right.
So, yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's it. We're done. Another week done.
Thanks for listening, people.
There you go. And I'm going to see you again on Saturday, Chinny.
Too much shoe, I think.
Too much Chinny.
Too much.
God. Too much of everything. Too much of everything.
Heigevalt.
Unbelievable. Right. I suppose I better go and pack some shit for me holidays, because I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, you better go pack. Got a week off, haven't you, Stuart?
I am. I'm on holiday. Holiday. Celebrate. Have a good time. If I took a holiday. Took some time to celebrate.
All right, this is over. I recorded the whole show this time. Yeah.
Wow, well done you.
Yeah.